Joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show is one of my favorite grandpas. That's right. He's Rod Woodson, Pro Football Hall of Famer. How's that for an introduction, Rod? How's that for an introduction?
I've never been introduced by being called the favorite grandpa before. I don't know if I'm the favorite grandpa. I mean, I'm their only grandpa, but I'm the grumpy grandpa.
Oh, yes. I know.
That one I will take. I'll take the grumpy grandpa.
Why do you like coming across as grumpy when you're not, Rod? I mean, you're not a grumpy guy unless it's bad football, right? Bad football makes you grumpy. Being told what to do makes you grumpy. I've seen this. Those are the two things. But overall, you're not a grumpy guy. I wouldn't call you grumpy.
Well, just grumpy in a sense that they ask me for things and I say no.
Oh, okay.
And they think that's grumpy. So, but I'll take it. I'm going to take it.
Good to see you, Rod. What's going on in the football?
Hey,
yes.
Congratulations on seeing you back on ESPN.
Did you like that one?
I liked it.
A little old school.
I know that goes way back.
I joined ESPN in 1996. If I'm not mistaken, February of 96 was just 1 month after you pointed at your knee in front of the entire football world. Rod, correct? Didn't you point at your knee?
It was that year. Right. It was that year, right. Early in the year for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, what caused you to point to your knee in that Super Bowl again, Rod?
Well, you know how Michael is. Michael does like to talk, and he still likes to talk. But he was a talker on the playing field. He said some things, and I just thought I had to let him know that it's not exactly true what he was saying.
Which was about that your knee, you weren't the same anymore. Michael Irvin was talking smack to you, Rod.
Michael's saying, he can't get on the Autobahn. When you get on the Autobahn, you got to go fast. And I'm like, well, heck, I didn't know Michael was ever fast. So I just dropped down to Michael's speed. That's all.
Come on now, did he not know that you? Speaking of Autobahn, you ran track in Berlin because you were holding out on the Steelers once upon a time, right, Rod?
See, that was
want to hit that Wayback Machine here?
I tell you what, that was a fun time in '87. A lot of people don't even know the little history. '87 had to hold out in a scab player, so to speak.
Yep.
And then I got to run track overseas for 2.5 months, and I got to go to Berlin, Nice, Monte Carlo. I mean, I had a ball.
That's it. See, I know your history, and now you obviously know mine. But thank you for what you said about doing SportsCenter last night. What's the Ravens' expectation level here, Rod? Walk me through this here. Super Bowl or bust, we all know that, but what do we got going into this year?
Last year I thought all the stars were in alignment with the Ravens because we won in 2000. Then Joe Flacco and Ray Rant, they won in 2012. And then it was 12 years later, it was 24. And I'm like, shit, it is destined for these guys to win. And they just couldn't get past Buffalo. But I think the three best teams in AFC by far are Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo, and not in that order. I think obviously you're going to still give a lot of love to Kansas City. They got Patrick Mahomes, but I just think if you look at the Ravens roster, they're so solid across the board: offense, defense, special teams. You get Hopkins that come in to be that red zone guy, has a great catch radius. It's going to be interesting to see how they play out for these guys because day one opening season they're opening regular season they're going to go play Buffalo, and the issue that they've had once the playoffs start. I'm not talking about the regular season. I think they're going to be fine during the regular season, but when the playoff gets here, Buffalo and Kansas City has been that thorn in their side that they have to get past.
Bingo, Rod. And even we could sit here and say, well, that's such a crucial game in week one because you don't want to go back to Buffalo. Certainly when this is going to be Buffalo's last run at it in Highmark, right, whatever, the old Rich Stadium. Like, you don't want to go there in January when it's freezing and the Bills fans are all like ready to finish this stadium up with a win and all that business. We could sit here and say that sort of thing, that you don't want to be on the road. But 2 years ago, they were the 1 seed, and they had the AFC Championship game in Baltimore for the first time in half a century, and the Chiefs still walked in there and came out with the win because it all seems to, clearly, the regular season matters. Clearly, you can't just roll the footballs out. It is the National Football League.
Right.
But it always seems that something happens in January. Something happens. The ball pops loose. Zay Flowers looks like he's going in for a touchdown. Oh, ball comes out, for instance.
Right.
How do you coach again? How do you coach a team to not have that, right? It just seems like it's karma. Or I don't know what it is, but how do you
I don't want to call it karma. I mean, I thought last year, because Lamar has not played his best games in those situations, but last year Lamar even made the statement that he knew he was pushing and not having his best games in those situations, in those type of games. So I'm thinking, since he made the announcement, he knows it's happening to him, it's not going to happen. And again, he goes out, he throws a pick early, he gets a strip sack later in the game, about at the third quarter. Just one of those games that, I mean, he is so dynamic, and I don't want his legacy to be he's the best in-season, regular season quarterback, but once the playoff starts, they can't get to the Super Bowl, because he's the only two-time MVP in the National Football League that has not won a Super Bowl yet. So could it happen this year? Absolutely. I think they're stacked. I like them. I love Lamar, and I loved how he has grown as a player and throwing the deep ball. We know how exciting he is when he runs with the football in the open field. So that's a given. But his precision of throwing the ball down the field has gotten better. And he's only in year 7. And that's the crazy part about it. He's still in his prime.
Yeah, he was in the best shape of his career too last year. I mean, without question. Whatever the workout habits that you hear the whispers about from his first few years in the league, that's gone. And he looks great. Derrick Henry looks great. You look at this roster, and the Ravens are loaded, as you pointed out. But so I'll just take one last swing at this thing. Is what does it take? Because it's not John Harbaugh either. I mean, this is a guy who's on the way to a Hall of Fame, and it's not the front office. It's certainly not ownership. It's something like, how does one play your best when it's one and done and everybody knows you're good enough, but it hasn't been good enough over the last few years? How do we deal with this, Rod?
And I don't want to say they don't have leaders, because I think they do.
Mm-hmm.
But the times they've won the Super Bowls, I mean, Ray was that alpha guy in the locker room, on the sideline. And I think something like that has to happen somewhere along the line during these type of games. Somebody has to rally the troops. It always can't be the coaches. It can't be the coaching staff. It can't be the head coach. It has to be the players that rally themselves on the sideline or talking to themselves on the sideline. And Lamar's not an outgoing, spoken person in a sense like that,
right? But
he is a leader. And for me, I think we need another guy on that offensive side to be more vocal, along with Lamar. Defensively, we know Rowe is there.
Right.
They got some players. We know Kyle Hamilton, even though he's young, people are going to listen to him because he is a player.
Right.
So they have the pieces to the puzzle on that defensive side. I just think they need another voice on the offensive side to go along with Lamar during the games.
Or maybe it's just Derrick Henry running it 25 times in the cold. And it's making people make business decisions, and let's get him $150 in an AFC division or championship game, and good luck trying to stop that. Like that was the idea last year, right? That was the idea going in last year, and he was awesome.
But they didn't run as much as they would normally had done in the previous season and in the other playoff games prior.
Okay.
And it's going to be different this year because you got Derrick Henry, you got Justice Hill, who got a nice little contract, but Keaton Mitchell, if he comes back and looks like he did in the first preseason game, and he has that explosion that he had a year and a half ago, I don't know how you play all those guys. Now, I know Derrick Henry's going to be the bell cow. He's going to be the main guy, but then does Keaton Mitchell, is he coming in next?
I'd love that.
Keaton Mitchell,
He's
can
good.
he, I know Justice Hill, he was that third down back for him, but, I know Keaton Mitchell has to prove that he can protect Lamar on third downs to get his reps at third down. But it's going to be interesting to see how Todd Monken does this thing with those guys. Are they going to go old 21 personnel, which not a lot of people use that anymore. So you're seeing two backs back there, but you can see two backs where it's Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell or Justice Hill in the backfield, and the defense stays in their base. And now you can take that third down back at either Hill or Keaton Mitchell and motion them out of the backfield. Now he's matched up either with a linebacker or safety, and you know that if they got to rotate down, they're going to be a man if they're rotating down, and now you can have your way with them. So it's going to be fun to watch how Todd Monken uses these guys and these weapons that he has, especially in the running back room.
Rod Woodson, the biggest threat to the Ravens in the AFC North is?
I don't think there is one.
Okay, now.
I would say this.
Okay.
I think the Steelers are going to be better than what people think because they did load up on defense. So if you paid attention to their offseason, they loaded up on defense. They brought in Aaron Rodgers. And if they can protect Aaron Rodgers in the pocket, Aaron Rodgers, he can still throw the football. Listen, I mean, when Aaron Rodgers is 60 years old, he's going to get out of bed and he'll be able to throw it 50 yards down the field and hit a target. So he's always going to be able to throw the football. So my question is with those guys is, can they protect him? Cincinnati, Cincinnati does have, I mean, obviously Joe Burrow played lights out last year, could have been MVP. Defensively, I'm not exactly sure. You got a new, coordinator there. Cleveland, I think Cleveland's Cleveland. But yeah, I think if anybody gives the Ravens a run in the North, it'd be the Steelers.
Steelers, okay, because Rodgers being protected clearly is that big issue, and plus running the football. I mean, Jalen Warren's going to have to show, and the kid from Iowa that they drafted is going to have to show that they can do that. Like that's definitely the question. So, but other than that, no threat. The Ravens aren't threatened in the division. Says
not
Ron
in
Woodson.
the North. I just don't think so. I think they're so loaded. The Ravens are so loaded. And just having a player like Lamar, and you added Derrick Henry last year, and you saw the explosion of that offense. And Lamar didn't even run as much as he did in the previous years. He didn't have to because Derrick Henry he took over. So, I mean, but if he had to, he can get back to that same form. And, it's going to be fun to watch. I don't think there's a team that's going to, unless Baltimore stubbed themselves in toe early in the year, because that first 4 weeks is tough. Because you got Buffalo, you got Cleveland.
You sure do.
Detroit, and then Kansas City. That's a tough schedule, man.
No doubt. Well, they got Houston and the Rams after that. I know it's home.
And I know a lot of people look at Cleveland and go, and I said Cleveland's Cleveland, but Cleveland always plays the Ravens well.
Well, I mean, you got Joe Flacco, revenge game, bro. I mean, come on now.
It could be
Flacco versus Lamar. Come on now. Let's call it the way it is. Before I let you go, Rod, Travis Hunter. Do you have doubts, questions, no questions?
No,
what do you got for me about him being able to play corner and receiver?
Well, I don't think he's not going to play.
Action. What do you got?
He's not going to play like he did at Colorado.
Why not?
He's not going to be that many plays per game.
Why not? Come on.
Could he get to the point where he plays it? I mean, let's think back. Let's throw back. Have throwback.
Let's do
throwback from centuries ago.
Okay.
Everybody played both ways. And he was very blessed to be with a head coach in college to allow him to play both ways in prime. And so prime does know that, but the coaches in the league, they're not prime. They didn't play both ways. They're going to give him an opportunity to have some plays on offense, be on defense. Is he going to play 85 plays, 90 plays a game for 17 weeks, man, that's a tough ask on your body. If anybody's going to do it, he's going to be the one. But I think that's a real tough ask on the body. If you want to play at the highest level that you can possibly play at the cornerback position and then add to something at the receiver position, it's a real tough task because the running backs that are going to come through, it's like, I mean, how is he going to tackle Derrick Henry if he played the Baltimore Ravens? I mean, all those bigger size players that he's going to have to see at the cornerback position will take its toll on his body. But athletically, can he do it? Absolutely, he can do it. Now it's just, how much will the coaching staff allow him to use his skills on the offensive side of it?
Do you ever play receiver? When was the last time you played both? When was the last time you did that? When you were in Indiana? When you missed high school? Yeah. High school? As Mr.
No, Purdue, at Purdue, my last game, I got to play both ways in that last game against IU. I played offense, defense, special teams. I think I was only missed 3 plays, for our field goals. But in the league, I only played a handful of plays on offense ever. And that was because of Bill Cowher trying to get me to sign that contract that I didn't want to sign. And I eventually didn't sign it.
Grumpy Woodson. Grumpy Woodson. Before I let you go, Rod, Lee Corso at the age of 90 is going to have his final appearance on College Game Day in a couple of Saturdays. In advance of that, please tell me your Lee Corso story, and you know what I'm talking about. Rod Woodson.
Oh, yeah.
Please tell the story. Please tell the story.
Yeah. Please. So I'm getting recruited out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm thinking about going to IU. Lee Corso drives up to the house from Bloomington to Fort Wayne, and he knocks on my door. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, Coach, how are you?" And he's like, "Hey, before I get into this whole thing, I just want to let you know that, I just found out that I was fired over the radio," but he still gave love to IU. And I was like, wait a minute, Coach. They just fired you on the radio. They fired you on the radio, and you still want me to go down and do an official visit to IU? No, I can't do that.
So, again, you're being recruited. You're Mr. Indiana, right? In high school. You're clearly Rod Woodson. And he's coming to your house to recruit you, finds out on the way over on the radio he's been fired, and still tries to recruit you to Indiana. That's what Lee Corso does.
And still tries to get me to go to Indiana. And I'm like, Coach, if they treated you like that, how are they going to treat me? And I'm just a player.
Unbelievable.
So I was like, nah, that's okay. But I tell you what, I gave him much respect because that's a long drive. He could have been angry. He could have been talking. He could have talked bad about IU, and all he did was give them love, and he still tried to get me to go down there.
That's Lee Corso, baby. Awesome, Rod. Now tell me the Illinois story. No, don't worry about it. No. Rod Woodson. See, I know too much.
No.
Oh my gosh,
too much. Do you want to tell the Arizona State story?
Oh, Arizona State, when I went to the recruit and my host took me to see Gandhi, a 3.5-hour movie, and we had an intermission, and I remember we got done about 9:00 at night, and he was like, what do you want to do? I'm like, you can take me back to my room. Tell your guys I'm going to Purdue.
Arizona State fans, you could have had Rod Woodson. But the kid who was showing him around campus took him to see Gandhi. Could you get the total running time of Gandhi, please?
Oh, my
goodness. At least 3
Good to see you, Rod. Good to see you, buddy.
Good seeing you, brother.
Love you, too.
Bye, Rod.
3 hours, 11 minutes.
That's why he went to Purdue.
Yeah, that's why I went to Purdue.
Love you, Rod. Take care. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.